the Young and FRGN.
Kick to the gut!
Your podcast sucks!
Here we go! Coming off the heels of WrestleMania Backlash is Mr. Young.
And it's for in the building, bro. Can I just say I really love our intro so much.
Oh,
Gets
yeah?
me pumped. Gets me pumped.
Well, that's the thing, right? Sometimes the wrestling gut doesn't get you pumped, so you gotta pump yourself up. That sounded very wrong, actually. Too much working from home already. Don't pump yourself up too much, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink. Anyway, we got a bit of lag, so right now, what you can see is FRGN's beautiful face. Like a photograph like that, but okay, I see you moving. We're good, we're good. We've ridden through the lag.
Okay, we are good. Bro, there's gonna be a lot of lag because I think because of the weather. Here in the east side, it's raining. What about you?
It was raining, but I think the weather has cleared up. How's it going, bro? Hey, have you said that you were in the building yet? Because I feel like you haven't. I feel like something's missing.
Okay, wait, I'm entering the building now. Okay, closing the door. It's FRGN in the building.
Yeah,
What's up?
That's right. Now we are ready to start, my friend. How is your Backlash Monday?
I mean, I'm suffering from whiplash because I feel like I've been in this sport exactly 1 year ago with restrictions and all that.
Oh.
So, waking up today feels a bit weird. Feels a bit like, okay, I'm back in my cave, my man cave watching wrestling. What's new, right?
It feels like we've went back in time by 1 year, right? Of course, for those of you who are not in Singapore, restrictions have been put up again. We are working from home. I'm working from home again. Not gonna lie, I am enjoying the extra hour of sleep. So be that as it may, here on this 17th, let me say hello to Edison. What's up? Irvin, what's up? Thank you so much for joining the live chat. We are live on YouTube right now. If you're listening to this on the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and wherever else you get your podcasts, hey, we do the show live on YouTube every single Monday at 12 noon as well, which is great. Right after the pay-per-view.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And thanks, guys, for joining in because we got to talk about a lot of things, but we got to talk also about zombies, bro.
Oh, God.
We got to talk about zombies, man.
Okay. Before...
Zombie Jacks.
Oh, jeez. Before we get to Backlash proper,
yes.
Let's talk a little bit about AEW.
All right,
sure. I promise I won't go on too long about it, okay? In the interest of my growling stomach, because I haven't had lunch yet.
Okay, sure.
Remember how last week it was a shocking episode because I was actually mostly praised for AEW, remember?
Oh, yeah. The FRGN has no memory of that, but I get what you mean.
Because it's non-canon, is it?
Yeah, it's not canon. It doesn't feel standard Young answers.
Yeah, well, this week we are back to standard Mr. Young answers because
right.
I'm sorry, but last week's Dynamite really pissed me off. It pissed me off. Like, you went through this hell, this blood and guts match, brutal match.
Yes.
Oh, it's okay lah. Just wear a cast return the next week. I'm sorry, but Chris Jericho knows better. Shouldn't he know better?
I know. It's not just that. It's the blatant ripoff of Austin's beer truck segment.
I don't even hate it that much. Like, we've had the beer bath, we've had the milk bath, right? But okay lah. To your point, it being a ripoff. Remember, Austin was the one who did the beer bath, and then Kurt was the one who did the milk bath to Austin. So there is like a reverse, like there's an irony there. This one is straight up. None of them have anything to do with Austin. They just copy.
Yeah, that's why there is no storyline sense. And I know we're talking about this angle particularly that they're going to announce Stadium Stampede and all that. Yeah. But I can't wait to talk about the other segment. The one that will piss not just me off, but definitely will have pissed you off.
The other segment on AEW, does it have to do with Inner Circle versus Pineapple?
No. It's your favorite boy.
Oh, okay. Let me get through the Pineapple and the Pinnacle stuff. Look. Okay. I mean, you were like, okay, the production didn't quite hold up. In this case, that whole segment with the champagne gun looks so hack. It looks so cheesy. Like right from the start, when they drove in, there was a giant cannon there. You knew what exactly was going to happen. Yeah. And then instead of just going on and just spraying them, surprise spray, right? They dragged it out. Remember, there was this whole like almost 1 minute of Chris Jericho. Do you want it? What do you say? What do you say? I'm like, no, this sounds so bad. And then it was like they were waiting for the cue to spray, right? It looks so cringe. I was like, why are they waiting for just spray the fucker? Don't just stand there. Oh, did you say go? Haha, like, wow, that's damn lame. Yeah, you know, they're trying to do the whole MVP. It's like, no, and oh no, what did you say go? And it didn't even play out like that. It played out super hacky. I hated that segment so much.
I think one of AEW's biggest weaknesses, which so happens to be one of WWE's biggest strengths, is their production.
100,000%. Vince McMahon always says people only remember the finish, and that was a shit finish. And okay, let's not talk about the fact that Chris Jericho returns after, you know, that horrific fall off the cage. Yeah. And this is what we've talked about AEW for so many months now. Their escalation. It's like barely 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Oh, stadium stampede already. So your broken arm's going to heal.
So yeah, my issue is the fact that if they wanted to make Blood and Guts the be all and all, it should have just ended it right there.
Yeah.
It should have been a rivalry ender.
Yep.
Now, this is just like a mid-match or mid-point of the battle. And they want to end it with stadium stampede.
It's an anything match. It's a hardcore match, essentially. You know?
Yeah.
They are shooting themselves in the foot constantly with these, like no consequences. If there's no consequences to a devastating match like this, then people will not feel like the match is very special anymore. It's just a regular match, right?
Yeah, we know for a fact that Blood and Guts has always been in the making. They wanted to do it last year, right?
Yeah.
And the only reason why they pivoted and created Stadium Stampede was because of COVID. So Stadium Stampede was a very happy accident that happened, and I mean it was great. It was successful in my opinion.
Yeah.
But the initial ending of that rivalry was supposed to be Blood and Guts.
Yes.
So now they have just demeaned the entire significance of Blood and Guts by giving Stadium Stampede. And I love to watch Stadium Stampede. It's just that it is not needed in the story.
Nope. Why not give Stadium Stampede to another faction feud that is going on? I don't understand this. Instead, okay, hear me out. They have the opportunity to make Sammy Guevara versus MJF, and they will probably put on a really good show. Give them the shine. Let Chris Jericho take a freaking break. He doesn't need to be here, right? Yeah. And let Kenny Omega and his group do Stadium Stampede.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's why. Okay, but my thoughts on this is that you know, Double or Nothing is going to be a great show regardless, in my opinion. I think there's a lot of rivalry that's building up towards it. I just think that post Blood and Guts, this Inner Circle and Pinnacle feud, they kind of dropped the ball slightly. And yeah, in my opinion, it's not just the fact that they dropped the ball and keep making it about the group rivalry. They should have just focused on taking MJF to the next level.
Yeah.
I would have loved if MJF suddenly say, you know, I'm going to go for the world title. Or like, Pinnacle, come, let's go and FTR, let's go challenge for the tag team titles.
Yeah.
They should have push the story forward, like how WWE has pushed the story forward with Roman Reigns by bringing back Jimmy Uso.
Yep.
So yeah,
I'll say it every week. I'll say it again right now. It seems like they're just booking on the fly. There you go. Tony Khan, Best Booker 2020. You know what it seems like? It seems like he's playing WWE 2K19 and just booking cool shit. You know, when you play the game, you just book cool shit, right? Every week, cage match. Every week, Blood and Guts match. Every week, Royal Rumble. Whatever, you know, fits your, 12-year-old fantasy. Ooh, I'm a wrestling booker.
I don't think he's playing 2K, bro. You know what he's playing?
What is he?
AEW Elite General Manager. Download it on iPhone.
Oh, gee. No, you know what he's playing? He's playing the AEW Casino game.
Oh my god, no one plays that shit, bro. I don't know what the fuck was that all about.
Have you tried? I have never tried that game.
No, I have never bought it. I never even seen any reviews of that game.
Okay, there you go.
I think no gamer bothered to even play.
No. Differalty, let me say hello to you. What's up? Work from home equals can watch wrestling in relative peace. Yes, I agree with that 100%.
Awesome.
Last week I was like, oh man, I have to kind of like be at work and then watch Backlash, and then on the way home somehow, catch up with Backlash, but then, we're waiting from home. Not to say that I want to work from home, because obviously this means that the situation in Singapore is not getting any better. It's actually getting worse, right? So everybody, please stay home, be safe, be responsible. All right, we went through this once. We don't want to go through it again. not the CB again.
Yeah, definitely, man. And of course, Mr. Young, I mean, we are so used to this work from home for the last 1 year. I feel like I am in semi-retirement right now.
At such a tender age feels weird, doesn't it? Okay, so there's that whole debacle with the pineapple and Inner Circle, right? And then there's the main event, the title match.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I could give two shits about Kenny Omega versus Pac versus Orange Cassidy. I really could not care less.
Okay, first of all, let's address the match that they had at first. So Pac and Orange Cassidy had a match on AEW TNT, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they had one of the most surprisingly critically acclaimed matches last year at Revolution 2020.
That's right.
Because it was so unexpected, but it was so hilarious at the same time. I think Pac was just a great straight man to play off of Orange Cassidy being like himself, like his sloth self.
Yeah.
So now we are supposed to take Orange Cassidy a bit seriously, supposed to be a proper worker, proper wrestler. And I thought the match was alright, but you realize something happened. I think he legitimately got injured somehow.
Yeah. I think he got dropped on his head or something.
Yeah. And ever since then, like, okay, I know this guy is like a bit loopy because he wasn't like doing all his sequences properly. I think that the plan was supposed to end in a no contest anyway. It's just that the match ended faster than it was supposed to. Yeah,
because they had to call an audible. I mean, it's nobody's fault. But at the same time, even if the match went off without a hitch, right? Do you think this is the match that people want to see? A triple threat match? This goes to the problem of they haven't been building up a proper contender. And now they're just, okay, let's put the title in jeopardy by having it a triple threat match. Because, the champion doesn't have to be pinned to lose his title. That's the whole draw of a triple threat match, right?
Yeah, I believe so. But like you said, Kenny Omega versus Pac and Orange Cassidy is not really a world title match. Maybe it can be a world title match on Dynamite. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
No, it's not a world title match because the other two have not been positioned as world title contenders. They are number 1 and number 2, but that is just on paper. It is not like the UFC. Sometimes they'll do a number 5 versus number 1 because they've been shitting on each other on Twitter because there is actual fan excitement to watch the fight, right? But sometimes they'll do a number 1 versus a champion and nobody gives a shit because these two just have no beef. They haven't been, really making it exciting for fans. And this is exactly the case. It's on paper number 1 and number 2, but this is pro wrestling. It's about the excitement. It's about the build. And these two have very little build going into the pay-per-view. So I don't know how they're going to make this work.
If Orange Cassidy challenged for the title right after his Chris Jericho feud last year, that would have made sense, right? If Pac had didn't disappear back in UK for over a year or how many months that is because of COVID, if he was building up himself, Death Triangle was really a thing, there's a lot of momentum, then it makes sense.
But see, I get the whole COVID happened, this is not their fault. But now that he's back, why hasn't he run roughshod over the scene?
Yeah, I can name like at least 3 or more legitimate contenders.
Yeah,
you know what? Eddie Kingston challenging Kenny Omega would have made sense.
Yes,
even though I know it's weird, but it's because it's a storyline continuation from John Moxley.
Or make it Kenny Omega versus John Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. That triple threat match has so many more stories weaved into it. What about the friendship, right? So will they stab each other, or is it Don Callis' idea to break their friendship? Like, there is a story built in already, and they have been feuding. They have been at each other's throats. That would make sense. This title match that they have going on makes no sense. Nobody gives a shit.
And they only started building up last week. They just randomly dropped an announcement. Boom.
So
doesn't this remind you of WCW days, bro?
Yeah. Like I said, on the fly booking, creative. I don't know if it's because they have creative control. I would like to think that this group is not as bad as like your Hogans of the era.
Yeah. Well, Kenny Omega, yes, he's a very fun, entertaining heel. But I think his whole belt collector thing, for some reason, I think lost a bit of momentum. I don't know why, whether he's getting spread too thin, performing on too many shows. But it seems as if his focus is not on AEW. The thing when he was fighting Rich Swann, right?
Yeah.
It was exclusively on Impact Wrestling TV.
Sure.
There wasn't any Rich Swann interference coming into the Dynamite arena. them having some sort of confrontation. Like they didn't even build any hype on AEW side.
It is the inmates running the asylum. It is exactly that. Now, we talk about how WWE, pulls in the reins too much on their superstars. Oh, you can only do what we let you do, right? This is the complete flip side of the coin. When they can do whatever the fuck they want, they go off, have these matches, they collect belts and stuff like that. But does it build towards the storyline on the main product, which is AEW Dynamite? No, not at all.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Is he walking out with all his belts? Visually, I need to see him walk out with all his belts, or Don Callis holds a rack of all his belts to make it look impressive, right? But no, he's just walking out of the AEW Championship as far as I can remember. Because look, if he's been walking out with all the belts, I would have remembered it. It would have made a cool visual, but I don't see it happening.
Was it like Nakazawa or something carrying all his belts behind? I remember that was what he was doing last week.
Okay.
Bloods and Guts. But that's besides the point. I get what you mean totally. Like if he had made a point to emphasize it, it would have been much more. It would be much more on the forefront of all our fans' eyes. Okay, so right now, right, he's battling a couple of feuds. Okay, the Rich Swann situation is still not over yet.
Yeah,
and now Andrade has stepped out and challenged him for the CMLL title.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting and all that kind of stuff. But the thing is, AEW, his home ground, needs a strong challenger.
Yep. And he doesn't have that. And that's a huge problem going into the big pay-per-view, which is supposed to be their WrestleMania, right? This one?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like their main, show. I'm assuming that Stadium Stampede might be the one that is main eventing. But again, issues with that as well.
Yeah. Those are the issues with AEW. I don't want to go any further because it just depresses me. They had one good showing, and then after that is this horseshit.
I'm surprised you haven't mentioned the one that pissed me off.
Oh, okay. What is it?
The American Dream is back. Bro, have you seen the reviews for the promo, bro? Oh my god.
I know. I don't see. That's the thing with reviews. I try not to read them too much because I want to have my own opinion about it. But now that I think you know what I did. I mentally erased that from my mind. I didn't want to remember. But now I remember. He's like, for one night.
It's all flooding back.
Yeah, for one night. And I knew where he was going with it. He's like, no, you are not the American Dream. You'll never be the American Dream. Why are you trying to force it? And then like try to make this whole like USA versus UK thing because Agogo is from the UK, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh.
Okay. So like I had my own opinions on it. I was thinking to myself, like, did he just went on a random ramble, like a 5-minute rambling? Because he went everywhere, bro. He suddenly made a very political speech.
That's what he does. I don't know why people love his promos have been ultra self-indulgent. I cannot take it.
Yeah. Then the moment he said, oh, I can listen to Snoop Dogg and also listen to some country music guy at the same time. Okay, then I was like, okay, he's trying to bring everyone together. Okay, a bit like you're trying to unify America. And then he was like, oh, in this state where racism was still prevalent 50 years ago, I'm going to have a black wife and make a mixed baby. And I was thinking like, why are you telling us about the fact that you made out with a black woman? Like, I mean, yeah, fine, And then like you know what I mean? Like, okay, he is trying to have some sort of politics, like the fact that the fact that Americans argue that's what makes us American, that kind of thing.
Yeah. He's trying to argue progress, but it's like the UK no progress, man. What the fuck is your point?
Yeah, it's like if you in the 80s, you cut this promo and then you're fighting the Russians. Okay, it makes sense for the time.
Yeah.
Right, but since when the UK and US got war? I thought they all allies. Right, they work together. What?
Yeah, no. He's referencing Agogo shitting on the American way, and he's defending the American way. But it's not like Agogo made any comments. Yeah. Direct. I cannot like it. It's just it is what it is. It is Cody Rhodes trying. He's reaching now. There is no he's trying to get to that moment, that promo he had against Sean Spears, the promo he had against his brother, but there's nothing there, so he's just making shit up, and it just doesn't work. And for the amount of shit we criticize WWE for scripting their promos, this is exactly why sometimes promos need some sort of a script, because he just went anyhow, reach.
What if, bro? He just sits backstage, right? Every week he's like, okay, this is a random guy I never faced before. Yeah. What random story, what random conflict can I create?
US versus UK, come. 200 year ago feud. as Irvin says.
You know what he does? Probably, right? Okay, he sits behind with all of his executives and says, okay, guys, give me 3 random words. Okay, UK, flag, racism. Okay, I'm gonna make a promo out of these 3 words. Watch me do it.
Oh, gee.
I think that's what they do every week. They just come out with 3 random words. Okay, die, I'm gonna insert all these 3 words in my promo. No matter
Yeah.
what.
No, yeah, you're right. It didn't work. Him bringing back the American. I swear he's going to come out to American Dream. Actually, does the WWE own the rights to that song?
Well,
He's just a working man. So it'll be some shitty ripoff. You watch. It'll start with America. No, the tune must be a bit different. American Dream.
Bro, Mr. Young singing is the prime content that we need on YouTube, bro.
That's right. He's just a working man. Yeah, but the tune must be different, Cannot, if not, copyright, no.
They're halfway right, bro. They got Snoop Dogg remix.
Oh yeah, because he like rap also. Then it's the Snoop D-O-double-G. What?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
American Nightmare to American Dream.
Black and white babies in the house. What the fuck?
My father said when I was younger.
Oh, that's it.
All 3.
Okay, you know what? If that happens, I will actually laugh. It will be quite funny. That would be content. Awesome content, bro.
Oh my god. Okay. I think let's draw a line under this. Okay. Can I just mention one thing that I'm happy that happened in AEW? At least one positive thing lah, bro. Give chance lah. Finally, Miro has won a title. Finally, Miro has been presented like a bad, even though it's 8 months too late.
Yeah,
I think it's a bit of a rehabilitation of his character, bro. In my opinion,
it's like a pull in case of emergencies. I don't feel like they've sort of. I don't feel like they have answered the question as to why all of a sudden did he turn on Kip Sabian. Like they lost the one match and then he snapped. So it's like a sudden 180, like, oh fuck this, I'm just going for titles. Oh, I'm a nasty man, whatever shit, right? Yes, it's good to see him become like that, but I hate the fact that he became like that, like with no reason, no rhyme or there wasn't a story arc. You know what I mean? There was nothing that led him there. It was just like, oh, okay, this is not working. Let's try another character.
Which reminds me of how they scrapped, the Nightmare Collective.
Yes.
Remember? Okay. But this Miro presentation, I really like.
Yeah.
You know who he reminds me of, bro?
Who?
You watch Street Fighter?
Oh, yeah.
Zangief.
Yes.
Play up that, he's that foreigner, but he's a badass. And now, in this world, all of us watch MMAs and we are so used to having, all these foreign fighters who are actually all badasses that we have support for. It's a bit more normalized. And I kind of really like his look. Him with the red trunks and the TNT championship on it. It's a good look. So now we have this monster heel. Maybe he can do what Lashley is doing right now with the WWE Championship.
Yeah, but here's the thing surrounding this whole feud, right? So, I mean, going ahead, you have to assume that Darby Allin is going to try to get his title back.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Sting is in a feud with Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. For fuck.
Well,
for fuck. Are they going to have a match? No. For fuck. They feud.
Okay, I'm trying to make sense of all of this. So last week didn't okay. I'm gonna take it back a bit more. Okay, didn't Scorpio Sky's challenge for the TNT title?
Yeah. And he lost. Yeah,
he lost, right? And that sent him on this path that made him basically become a heel, made him leave SCU, blah blah blah. Then suddenly now he is in cahoots with Ethan Page, which is kind of a random pairing, but it seems like, Ethan Page says, you know what, I like your attitude, I want a challenge for the title as well, come let's get together, they're in cahoots. Then they started calling out W. Allen, right?
Yep.
And then that's what led to last week's Blood and Guts where they threw him down the stairs.
Yeah.
So Sting is his protector, so Sting is now feuding with him on his behalf. My opinion is Miro is just going to handily beat up Darby Allin and he's just gonna be distracted and pull away and he's gonna tag team with Sting to fight this SCU wannabe ripoffs.
So them taking the title off is to essentially move the feud away from the title, so Miro can take the title off and fuck around with whoever, whereas Darby Allin and Sting versus Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky is the next programmer.
Seems like it in my opinion. And also they've already kind of put a bit of distance between Miro and Darby Allin, because as soon as the match ended, straight away Sting kena attacked by Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. So I feel like it's moving there. But this opens up the question: who's gonna be Miro's next challenger?
I think Miro has to basically run roughshod over the division for a while. So I don't think he will have a proper challenger. I don't know, maybe Hangman Page, who, remember, we were like, Hangman Page, he's going to be the guy to challenge Omega. He's going to be the guy, and now he's just hanging out with the Dark Order. Maybe Miro will destroy all of the Dark Order and then have a feud with Page.
I think Hangman Page would be the right choice to go. I mean, if they're gonna build him up to fight Omega, they better start building him up soon. Yeah,
because they've been having him curtain jerk for the past few months.
Yeah, man, he's just been hanging out, man. He's really a millennial, bro. He don't want to work hard. He just want to lepak.
Yeah, he just lepak, drink whiskey, drink beer, whatever the hell he drinks, and
yeah, but okay, you know what? That's AEW for you.
It is. I mean,
we had a good half an hour to rant.
We will obviously, talk about AEW, like their pay-per-view, when it comes, which is quite soon. When is it?
It is. If I'm not wrong, it could be. I think it should be either this weekend or next weekend.
Or wait, is it all or not? Wait, all
double or nothing?
Fuck, they are stupid names.
Bro, we are so biased.
No, it's just me. I'm just so tired of them, like, not taking wrestling seriously. I'm kidding. It's consequences, and I really hate the fact that they have no consequences, apparently. Oh my god, Hangman Page is fighting Brian Cage at Double or Nothing. Who gives a fuck?
Page v Cage?
Wait, what? Christian Cage versus Matt Sydal? For fuck! Oh, no, it's the Casino Battle Royale. Yeah, he announced himself. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, wait. So all of those people that you just mentioned are going to be in the Casino Battle Royale or what?
No. Hangman Page versus Brian Cage is an actual match. This is the first time I'm seeing the preliminary card, by the way. Christian Cage and Matt Sydal are in the Casino Battle Royale.
Okay.
And Cage, I mean, looking at that, Christian Cage has to win this shit, right? Like, that gives you a future AEW World title shot, right?
Remember when we thought that Kenny Omega is going to fight Christian Cage at Double or Nothing?
Instead, he gets Orange Cassidy Impact, which nobody gives a shit about. May 30th, so end of the month. There you go.
Okay, so we got one more week. One more week before that match.
So 2 weeks, is it 2 or 3 weeks before Stadium Stampede, you have Blood and Guts? Who the fuck booked that?
Tony Khan.
Top Best Booker 2020. Let's go. Cody Rhodes versus Anthony Ogogo, right? The racism match or whatever match.
UK versus US.
Whatever. The feud that nobody cares about anymore. Okay, let's put this behind us. Let's talk about what we're here to talk about. Fresh off the heels of WrestleMania Backlash.
Yes, indeed.
Everyone in the chat, by the way, let us know what you thought of WrestleMania Backlash. Give us a upon 10. All right, let's go upon 10. What you thought, we'd love to hear it. Irvin says, why are there so many heel champs in the WWE, NXT, and AEW? Because you know why? I'll answer that right now. Nobody's over enough. They need to build faces.
You're right, exactly. Like, who is the biggest face right now in WWE? Well, I can tell one that's just retired or that just went unsigned.
Daniel Bryan. But even then, like, in the last few years, his heat has sort of died down. If anything, because he's also like trying to build other talent right now. Irvin says 8 out of 10. Wow, that is a very high score. In terms of, I will say this, in terms of wrestling sort of quality, I definitely say it is up there. Div Royalty says 8 out of 10 as well. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Am I going to be... Edison says zombie upon 10. Yes, that's the answer I was looking for. Zombie upon 10.
Okay, I can see why some people actually might enjoy this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
In my opinion, even though the results were predictable, the matches were actually good.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed the matches.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? In terms of match quality, I think when you watch WWE, there's a standard one. You will not go below a 7 unless, some people are involved. But by and large, that's what NXT is for. It's like finishing school, is to have everybody ready for the big, main show. I look at this and think about the storylines and the stakes and the consequences, and I'm a bit like I could have watched this tonight and not cared. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like today's show was, in my opinion, I didn't have to watch it live. If I watched it tomorrow, also okay.
Okay, I get what you mean. Like there wasn't anything that moved the narrative forward in a way that made you feel like, oh, okay, I need to see what happens.
In a way, it's a little bit like the title of the show. It's WrestleMania Backlash. It's like the fallout from WrestleMania. It's the crumbs. It's the leftovers.
Okay, I will slightly disagree on certain aspects of what you said.
Sure.
Yes, correct. There was a lot of rehashing of feuds from WrestleMania. There were rematches, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But one thing I always enjoy about Backlash or certain Backlashes, right, is always like it's almost like a take two of the match. If the match didn't deliver at WrestleMania, right, somehow the match will always be better at Backlash or Extreme Rules. Earlier this decade. I remember there was a time when there was a Chicago street fight between CM Punk and Chris Jericho that was miles better than a WrestleMania match, because I think that WrestleMania match got overshadowed by Rock and Cena.
Yeah.
There was also one time Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes really had a good match with Rey Mysterio on the Extreme Rules of it. So I always feel like maybe sometimes when WrestleMania they have a match, right, it's the first time they kind of clash or the first time they face.
Yeah.
The match itself might have some ironing issues, but by the time Backlash comes about, I can always be rest assured that the match itself is going to deliver. And I felt that some of the matches here, if this was on WrestleMania, it would have pushed the match quality of WrestleMania even higher. And it surprised me some of the matches.
My main issue right now with the WWE, right, is that a lot of their characters are like DC characters instead of Marvel characters. Now, follow me on this narrative here. The only character they have that is fully fleshed out, that is really played out, is Roman Reigns. Yep. He has a story arc. It makes sense. As opposed to, we need you in this role. Like, okay, when you watch a DC movie, right, it almost feels like their powers define who they are. Batman's the gadget guy. Superman is indestructible. Whereas when you think about Marvel, when you think about Tony Stark, when you think about Iron Man, you think about Tony Stark. You think about the man, the playboy philanthropist who sacrificed at the end. You think about Captain America, you don't really think about Captain America. You think about Steve Rogers, the guy who will jump on a grenade. You know?
I get what okay, so you're saying that their characters are not as fully fleshed out as they can be.
Yeah, at this point, only the veterans are, but a lot of the new talent that they're trying to push are just not fleshed out. I don't know. So it's very hard to get behind these faces that they are trying to push, because I'm like, like when we go through the matches, I think what I'll do is I'll try to highlight who just doesn't work for me right now. Yeah, and then you see the connection. So we start the match off, or the night off rather, Charlotte versus Asuka versus Rhea Ripley, Raw Women's Championship. Did you like the Cruella de Vil inspired look for Charlotte? I thought that was quite cool.
Charlotte has been kind of like tweaking a bit of her dressing.
She a bit like Seth Rollins now. Like she's trying to be very topical.
Corporate. Yeah. She has this corporate look, which I think is a nice continuation, because when she was a evil character, she was still evil Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Robes and that kind of stuff. But now it feels almost like an evil corporate. She's like coming into her own. I like that aspect.
Yes. And there's that whole thing where she like supposedly they're hinting at how she's friends with Sonya Deville. So there is a corporate link, right? So it makes sense. Yep. So that I like. See, there's a character that has evolved. Even though the whole turning on Asuka thing is a bit sus. But then again, Charlotte has always been a heel at heart. So, okay, a fully formed character. Asuka is not a fully formed character.
No,
she went from Empress destroying everybody to, like you said, token Japanese. That's her. She's defined by her powers, which is she's a Japanese badass. That's all she's defined as. Now she's just the make jokes. That's it. Like, what? Who are you? What is your motivation? I don't understand. And lagi worse, Rhea Ripley. And I tell you what, we all know how talented she is in NXT, right?
Yep.
She had loads of charisma. On Raw, she to me has had zero charisma whatsoever. You know what's very telling to me? Because all the crowd noises are pumped in, they're fake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte comes out, boos. Asuka comes out, cheers. Rhea comes out, nothing. It's just random crowd noise, which tells me that WWE themselves don't know if she's a face or a heel.
Yeah, I thought she was supposed to be a fully fledged face.
Yeah.
Then the last couple of weeks, they make her seem like a heel, right?
Yeah.
They make her seem to be beating up people, teaming up with the heels and blah blah blah. Now she's undefined.
I find that very wishy-washy.
Yeah.
And it's not like she's a compelling character. So, like, you know how Austin was heel face in the day as well? Like, he was in between.
But it doesn't matter. His character is so strong, you know? His identity is there.
Rhea Ripley. And the thing is, at the end of the match, do you see Rhea Ripley doing the... I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's dumb.
You're a badass. What are you fucking doing? I'm like, oh my god. So this is the first of the big issues I have with some of their new characters. There's no character development. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to feel when I see she looks impressive. That's it. They're just riding on a look. That's it.
Yeah, she has the potential, right? I mean, I'm just thinking very far ahead. To be like this, you know, all the lesbians would love her.
What?
You know, just stay with me. Like all these like edgy rock tomboyish chicks would look up to her and say, "Oh, that's so cool. You know, I want to be someone like her."
Yeah.
She had, like you said, she has the look. The look is great.
Yeah.
And the thing about WWE is WWE seems to be very, very easily satisfied. Like, okay, she got the look enough. Don't need to worry about the character.
Yeah.
But I also want to play devil's advocate and say that no one knows their actual character when they first start out. Like, if you think about Drew McIntyre, he was given the chosen one gimmick.
Yeah.
But what was the chosen one? How he's supposed to walk? How he's supposed to act? I think probably WWE don't give a shit. He had to figure it out on his own. And when he couldn't figure it out, when he was floundering, what happens? Throw him to 3MB, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like for a wrestler's lifespan, right, they only become that truly transformed character probably in later part of their career or like the middle part of their career.
Which makes sense, right? After they've tried a lot of things, they fail, what works, what doesn't work. But then, why is it on NXT she was way more compelling? Is it because it was a smaller audience? Then they had more room to try different things. Maybe they were guided a little bit more. Now Rhea's on her own. So, okay, you go out there and you show us, you know, who you are. And she's not there yet.
I think that's exactly the case. I feel like the reason why NXT works, right, is because there's actually people who care about the development of the character and want to protect them as much as they can before they send them off into the world. Yeah. And I feel like Raw and SmackDown is really literally where you sink or swim.
Right. And can we safely say that Rhea is kind of, you know, sinking right now?
And I'm not surprised because I really feel that as much as we big up her, you know, she did really well at NXT. She's very young. She's not that experienced.
But she's the champ. Shouldn't then it be the writer or whoever is in charge of the women's division? Shouldn't it be their job to tell her, say, hey, okay, so we need you to go in this direction, try this, do more of this. And well, for fuck's sake, don't do that.
Well, that's definitely not... Pretty sure that's not Rhea's idea to do that. You know, that's definitely the writers.
Do you think
whoever
so?
Is.
But okay,
I'm pretty sure.
If it's the writer's idea, then they should be fired because what the fuck is this? She's a badass. She shouldn't be nanny poo-pooing anybody.
That's exactly the point. She knows her character. She is a badass. She would have done that. So it can't be her decision to do that. I give you a great example of a wrestler who we know was great, but he had a shitty first title run as a world champion. CM Punk. Okay. CM Punk's world heavyweight title run was pathetic, man. And everyone was angry, like, why is he being booked this? Why is he being overshadowed? Oh, because John Cena and Batista is on the same brand on Raw.
Right.
They made them the number one guy. And they still had Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho. They still had Triple H there. Like, literally, there was 5 or 6 guys who was pushed better than the champ itself. Yeah. And I feel that's the case with Rhea Ripley. I'm not saying that Rhea Ripley, there's some other people that's being pushed more. Well, it's very clear, lah. Charlotte Flair, lah.
Yeah, exactly. So Charlotte is taking all the shine. She's getting all the character development. The rest of them are just the bit players around her. So, I mean, that's the problem, isn't it? That you're not building up your main characters, your title holders.
As much as, for example, when Miz was the champion, but the show still revolved around John Cena. What?
Right.
The Miz had to fight so hard to even get half the attention that John Cena did. And I feel Rhea Ripley is in that same position. She has all the potential in the world, but the show is not focused on her. You will know when the show is focused on someone.
Yeah, and ultimately that hurts her because we don't care if she retains or not. Like Div Royalty said, you know, if they can't settle on a character or on a direction for her, then it's just going to be hard to give a shit about this match. And that's why when she won, I was like, okay. And then when she didn't end any poo-poo, I was like, okay, yeah, no. That turned me off completely.
She's dead to me. She's like it's like the suffering succotash of Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. Okay. Next. Let's move on. All right. More personalities, less gimmicks.
Speaking of personality, can I just do a quick mention on the pre-show?
What happened?
Because Sheamus put out an open challenge, non-title, and one of our old guys that we haven't seen in a while actually challenged him. Ricochet. Right, Ricochet. How are you, bro? I haven't seen you in a while.
Poor Ricochet.
You know what's the best part?
What?
He challenged him in street clothes. I think he literally at catering. He was like, "Hey, got open challenge."
Okay, I go.
I'm not ready tonight. My hair's so alright.
Yeah. Obviously, he put on a decent fight, but he lost. I'm sure. Right? I don't even need to watch the match.
Yeah, you don't have to watch the match. Just know that Ricochet shows why he's one of the most talented high flyers that we have. But he also he also showcased why he is not being pushed.
Yeah.
Because you know how he lost the match?
How?
He didn't lose the match because of a bro kick. He didn't lose the match because of a Celtic cross. None of the finishers. He lost the match because he kena knee to the face. You know, like what Triple H does?
Yeah.
The knee face buster.
I'm sure it must have looked amazing. He probably flipped 10,000 times.
Yeah, he sold it amazingly, of course. It looked like a Jorge Masvidal knee strike to the face of Ben Askren kind of move. Okay, impressive. Yeah. But the point is, the fact that he lost because of just that shows where he is.
I mean, but okay, is it now we push the focus back to his personality, his character? Is there a character that people care about? No, his entire gimmick is he sells well.
You know what? One of my favorite matches or periods in Ricochet's career was when he was fighting against Velveteen Dream. Remember when Velveteen Dream said, like, anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah.
And he did an amazing flip. And he was like, show me.
Yeah. But see, that was a moment. That was just a cool moment. And it was the feud lah. It's like, it's like, okay, I'm going to use the Marvel analogy again. It's like having an Infinity War movie. Doesn't mean you're involved. Doesn't mean your character is grown. You know what I mean? It's
I get what you mean.
The magnitude of the event that's happening.
The thing about, like I said, using the Marvel comparison again, right, is that we know there's like the A-level characters, B-level, C-level characters, right?
Yeah.
But even the C-level character, there's something endearing about it.
Like Hawkeye getting his little moment in Age of Ultron where he has a family and then they're like, what? You have a family? Blah, blah, blah. All that, right? Character development.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't see that for Ricochet. It's like a DC movie where one fucking time, one movie, Batman is all dark and like brooding and I kill people, whatever. And then the next movie, he's cracking jokes. Like, huh? The fuck? No character development.
In wrestling, right? Which promotion has the most Marvel-like qualities?
NXT. I will say NXT right away. And they are very open to having this inter-promo, like, they will hype up the Japanese wrestler who's come from somewhere else, stuff like that. So I think NXT really has it, and maybe because they are, like I said, like they are more open to experimenting before the idea moves on to the main roster.
Yeah, I guess so. And I think the thing about NXT, which again works for me, is that every single segment has meaning.
Yep. And then they throw back a lot. They are very conscious of the meta. They know that the fans are so diehard that if an interaction were to occur and they don't reference like something they did years ago, then the fans will definitely pick up on it.
Yeah. Even something that is very new, they have to reference from the past.
Yeah.
Like Cameron Grimes right now with Ted DiBiase.
Yeah. I love that. It's just like the most pointless feud, but it's entertainment. I'm sports entertained when I watch that. Dave Royalty says the difference is more because on the main shows they build storylines around one person. On NXT they focus on the relationship, so both people get the development. Yes. I agree. Irvin says for Raw and SmackDown they also need to cater to the sponsors and TV networks as well. So yeah, that could definitely come into play. Well, I mean, they definitely talking about sponsors, as we will see a bit later on. It definitely affected the match. But let's move on then. Dirty Dogs versus the Mysterios. Oh my god, can we? I'm such a huge fan of Dolph Ziggler because I bias because I met him. He took us out for drinks, stuff like that. Robert Roode, we all know, very talented, and then this happened. Go, bro. Go. Just I cannot even talk
Bro,
about this match.
well, as you are a fan of Rey Mysterio, I am a fan of. If you are a fan of Dolph Ziggler, I'm a fan of Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
So I am, I've always grew up with Rey Mysterio. He's always been great to me. Like, he's always been such a constant presence in my life.
Yeah.
And I am trying to spread that love for Rey Mysterio to his son. I mean, but the thing about Dominic is that he doesn't look like a wrestler, bro. He looks like my friend. Maybe there's an appeal to that. Like, someone looks at that Dominic like, hey, Dominic looks like a nice guy, sweet kid, and he can wrestle. Yeah. Maybe I can be one too.
Yeah, he has the everyman look lah.
Yeah, but then when I was looking at, I was watching RVD's WWE Icons documentary, right? And I was looking at the ECW crowd when he was fighting John Cena at One Night Stand.
Yeah.
If you drop Dominic Mysterio in the middle of that ring against that adult ECW crowd, right, I think everyone will just tell him to fuck off.
Yeah. He's too... Yeah, he is a baby face in every sense of the word. He's literally a baby face. What my beef is with this entire match, and okay, it's been like Rey Mysterio's entire career, he's the biggest little man, right? He always fights against the odds. Is how they did the Dirty Dog so dirty. It was 2-on-1, and they couldn't put Rey Mysterio away 2-on-1. Like he literally was beat. He could have beat them. It felt like he was beating them in a 2-on-1 tag team match, which makes them look like absolute jobbers.
Yeah, so before the match, apparently Dominic got injured or like he was attacked from behind. I mean, I was daydreaming, so I didn't really know what was happening. Yeah, but anyway, the thing about this is Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode are such consummate professionals. I think the whole point of this feud, even before they started, was like, you know what? Let's give Rey Mysterio and Dominic great opponents so that when they win the title, it's kind of memorable, right? Yeah,
no, and they're like we talked about it last week. They're obviously going for that moment, the father-son tag team champ moment. But the thing is, it became too obvious to a point where I was like, oh, okay, look, this is what's going to happen. And I feel bad for Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode because they were building momentum as a tag team.
Do you feel like Rey Mysterio and Dominic's moment was a bit anticlimactic?
Yeah, I felt it 100%. You know why? Because Dominic is not there yet. He doesn't know how to milk the emotions yet. He's not his dad in terms of polish, in terms of facial expressions. In fact, I even take umbrage, a word I learned from Mauro Ranallo, not from the SPH guy, okay? All NXT fans know this, that he used to use the word umbrage. I take umbrage at his selling of the rib injury because he finished the match with a frog splash.
Oh no. Okay, cross splash, yes.
Which is like it involves the ribs. And he absolutely no-sold the ribs. Like the second it hit, cover 1, 2, 3, done. I was like, wait, don't you have broken ribs or injured ribs? Like just holding your ribs doesn't sell it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, pain. Oh, like his selling needs a lot of work. You can tell he's very new. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe Rey should have been the one selling the ribs. I would have much preferred if they lost because Dominic tried to do too much, and then at least there would be a story to tell.
What would have been better was instead of Dominic being injured, it was Rey that should have been injured.
Yeah,
and Dominic selling the 2-on-1 beatdown.
Yeah, and then Rey finally comes out, and then there would have been so many stories to tell from there. When you finally, maybe when Dominic turns on Rey, we've talked about this before, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Then you could tell the story of, I could have handled this on my own, stop trying to look out for me, blah, blah, blah. But now, doing what they've just done, is like, there's no long-term booking here. It's just, they did it for the moment. It's very obvious to me.
I got an old school reference for you.
Sure.
You know, the whole time, Rey Mysterio didn't want to tag into Dominic, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, right, was it like some seed that was going to be planted? Like, if they lost,
Dominic would get pissed off and be like, why didn't you tag me in?
And turn on Rey Mysterio.
That's right.
Like, you don't trust me? You don't believe in my ability to win? You know who this reminds me of?
Brett and Owen?
You
Yeah, exactly, bro. Didn't Brett and Owen team up together, and because of Brett not wanting to let Owen in, they lost, and Owen got pissed off and then basically attacked his leg, and that started the whole rivalry, right?
Yes. Div says the frog splash was a nice tribute to Dominic's daddy, though.
I'm your puppy.
Who's your puppy? Yeah, the match, I mean, you have the Dirty Dogs just selling the shit out of this stuff, and I did not enjoy this match. This like them winning, I felt like it soured on me because of the fact that like maybe to the main audience it was like, oh cool, father-son duo. But to me as a long-term like WWE fan, I did not like this at all.
I'm going to take a more neutral approach with regards to this because I feel like there's not a lot of examples in history where there's actually a legitimate father and son duo that can actually work as a tag team. Not someone who is like over the hill and like gonna retire already with a young fresh-faced kid, you know?
Yeah.
Like both of them, like I feel like Rey Mysterio still have so much more to give, you know? He still looks good for his age.
Yeah.
And I think Dominic, you know, we gotta give him credit. You know, he's 23, 24. He's getting better every single day. So like somehow their skill set kind of match each other. So like this mentor-student thing, it works. And there's not a lot of this mentor-student thing in terms of tag teams around in WWE. So that makes them stand out, in my opinion.
Yeah, it makes them stand out, but it doesn't give them character. Let's be very specific with that. I still find it hard. It's their gimmick. The father-son thing is a gimmick, is a power, is what makes them different, but where they go from here is what counts.
Yeah, so one thing that I feel that, because I do not know where Dominic has it in him to be a heel. He hasn't shown me any so-called of like ability to be an asshole. He's in a really boy.
Yeah.
So the only way I think he might have some character development growth is that people are gonna start kidnapping Rey Mysterio, you know, using him as bait, and then like manipulating Dominic, like, no, don't fight my father, I'm gonna save him, and that kind of thing. And like, he's like this naive kid who is always being like he's like Spider-Man, basically.
Yeah. Wait, hold on though. And this is what annoys me as well, because there literally has been no struggle to win these tag team titles, because for 2 weeks on SmackDown, Dominic has defeated Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
In singles match. So it's like, where is the climb, the challenge? It's like, oh, okay, they're gonna win, man. Oh, the only quote unquote doubt was the injury, but I think fans are a bit smarter than that.
Okay, well, at least we know who are SmackDown's tag team champions. Do you know who's Raw's tag team champions?
Well, I do know them, but they literally didn't show up. Like, I don't know what AJ and Omos are doing. Maybe training each other, or they're training Omos so that he can, have better matches. But yeah. Let's move on. I'm so upset about that match. Then we do a backstage segment where John Morrison knocks on the door of the Lumberjacks, and lo and behold, is zombies. Because Backlash is brought to you by the new Batista movie. Was it Day of the Dead? Dawn of the... Some of the Dead.
Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead. There you go. Yeah. It looks like a fun movie. I don't like... I definitely want to watch it. And these cross promo things, they are good lah. But why does it always fall to the Miz? It's like the Miz is the only guy who's like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do the cross promo thing. He gets the value of it, I guess. Maybe he gets an extra couple of $100.
Can I just say, like, I actually really like the intro to Backlash. Do you watch the intro? It was narrated by Batista.
Batista, yes.
And I've never thought of Batista as a voiceover artist, but when I heard him, right, I felt like a lot of gravitas suddenly. I was like, oh wow, Backlash is happening only.
Don't forget, he's an actor now, so he's been taking acting voices, voice acting being one of them. The match itself, unfortunately, was completely. I don't care if they had the most technical, amazing match. There was too much distraction.
Bro, the moment the door opened and I realized that they're actually not only gonna have lumberjacks, but lumberjack zombies, not gonna have actual wrestlers. I know this match is gonna be the shits. It's just gonna suck.
Okay, to be fair, NXT did like something like that during the Halloween Havoc thing where they had zombies. Remember?
With Dexter and Cameron Grimes, right?
Yeah.
But I felt like it was tongue in cheek. Like you can laugh along with it, but this one was like out of nowhere,
They try. I don't want to hate too, because like, I don't want to hate too much on this because I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, wrestling is so fake, you know?
Yeah, but, it is, you know.
But yeah, it does make wrestling look fake. This match anyway with the zombies. Hey, they made the money, whatever.
Do you know what this reminds me of?
What?
The very first WWE ECW episode.
Yeah.
Where they introduced the zombie.
Yeah, even one of the commentators made I think it was Corey Graves made a reference to ECW. Irvin says maybe because the Miz wants to be Johnny Cage, maybe it's a favor. Actually, you know who looked even better as Johnny Cage in this wrestling match? John Morrison. Did you see he had moments where he was doing his parkour shit, jumping off the barricade, doing a spin kick, and I'm like, holy shit, he should be Johnny Cage.
Yeah, okay, John Morrison, right? He feels to me like the unsung hero of this entire feud.
Yeah.
Like I should be rooting for Damian Priest. Yeah. I should be loving the Miz. But you know what I'm rooting for is John Morrison, man.
Bro, 100%. Because he comes across as this like... Actually, you know what? The way he's been acting, he is a little bit like Johnny Cage. In that he's so unaware, so amusingly unaware of his nonsense.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? That would be quite funny. What would have been so funny if everyone wanted the Miz to be Johnny Cage and then they announced it was John Morrison?
Dude, I think wrestling fans would love it, and I, for one, would get it and 100% back that. Yeah, Johnny drip. Exactly. And then that last moment where he gets dragged down by the zombies and he's like, oh, I thought that was damn funny. It's a classic zombie trope, like a horror movie trope.
Yeah. And then, you know what? There's this one part that I did enjoy though. When both of them were on the floor and both of them were actually having to fight off the zombie. I feel like that was like an action scene from the movie. Yeah, they became like allies for a bit, right? And so Damian Priest gets the win, and then the zombies eat up the Miz and more. I don't know how they're going to address this on Raw. Are they going to show up? Maybe they become zombies because when you get bitten by a zombie, you become a zombie, right? Yeah, they're gonna rip off the Fiend's costume. Because how are they gonna address it? They're gonna show up on Miz TV and they'll be like, so that happened. Yeah, probably that's how they're gonna address it. They're like, okay, the Miz has no memory of this ever happening. Let's move on. Non-canon. This is non-canon. Okay, but going forward, I just hope to God this feud dies. Like, it should have ended the day Bugs Bunny left. Yeah. Like, there's no reason to continue this feud. Yeah. Damian Priest, please move on. Go fight Sheamus or something. Yes. Carry on with your life. Yeah, exactly. Hopefully, or maybe this is the impetus to give Miz and Morrison a break. They got eaten by zombies. They need a freaking break. Maybe. So they go away, and then Damian Priest gets his, a shot at the US title or something. That makes sense. Yeah. Speaking of which, can I just quickly address the Fiend? You guys hear the news on why he hasn't been on TV? Yes. Yeah. So I knowing the context of it right now, I'm cool with like letting Bray Wyatt take as long of a break as he wants to. Yeah, the whole issue, the whole thing was that he was actually hit quite hard by the death of Brody Lee, John Huber, Luke Harper, obviously one of his closest friends, right? So he actually wanted to take time off, a much longer time off. But because it was WrestleMania, they needed the Fiend back, so he came back for a short stint. Yeah. So like it made sense that right after TLC he disappeared for a while. I think that was the initial part where he wanted to grieve and take some time off. Yeah. But I think it was either Bray Wyatt calling in a favor for WWE or WWE saying like, hey, you still gotta wrap up this thing with Randy Orton. Yeah. That's what made him came back. And all of us were like, why did Alexa Bliss take over his giving but now it makes sense, right? Probably they understood that okay, he's gonna take a long break, but they have to continue the narrative somehow. Never mind, just put all the attention back to Alexa Bliss which by the way was not a factor at all on Backlash. So but I mean I can really sympathize with Bray Wyatt. I mean it must be really hard to know that this character that he's trying to build is really important to him. It's supposed to help him take him to the next stage of his career. But knowing that his heart is not in it, I think we can't force something. It's like the whole CM Punk situation. Like if you don't feel like being in it, don't force yourself. True. Take as long as you want. Yeah. So I'm sad. Maybe this could be the end of the Fiend, though. This could be like, okay, we already gave him his return. He didn't do shit after that. Like, he might be so-called so dead and buried in terms of this gimmick that they might have to revamp him again.
Well, if anybody can revamp themselves, it's Bray Wyatt. So I actually am not worried about that at all. Very quickly, talking about wrestlers who have passed on. New Jack, the former ECW legend.
Yes.
He passed away. Was it over the weekend?
Yes, over the weekend. And if you guys watch Talking Smack, Paul Heyman gave like a very glowing tribute to him. It's very funny though, because it's hard to mourn someone like New Jack.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Knowing what he has done.
Yeah.
And like how much of like a legit gangster and almost a criminal the way he is. But one thing you can't deny, he lived his life very authentically. Like,
yeah,
if you drop New Jack in WWE right now, like, oh, the crowd is just gonna go crazy. Like, oh, this motherfucker, this is like the realest shit that they've ever seen, you know?
Yeah.
And Paul Heyman even mentioned it, like, he can't show any footage of New Jack because, frankly, there is no PG version of New Jack out there.
Yeah, because
New
Jack is New Jack. Yeah. He lived his life the way he lived his character. So, okay, let's move on then. Onto the card. Bayley versus Bianca Belair. SmackDown Women's Championship. Okay, I'll say this right off the bat. I find it very hard to give a crap about Bianca Belair. Like, this takes me all the way back to the analogy I've given you. She is like Captain Marvel now. Like, okay, we are supposed to root for someone who's already the best at everything. Like, I find it very hard. And she's not like she acts like she has doubt or anything. She's super confident, which is great, right? But there has been no character arc taking her from no confidence to confidence. It's straight out the back. Confidence. And even the way she won wasn't a dominating win. She reversed Bayley, used her hair braid to like as leverage. So I'm like, where do we go from here? You know, like, I care more about Bayley as a character because Bayley is a fully formed character. You know, so and
first of all, yeah. I feel like now I wanted to say that I think Sasha Banks disappearing from the title scene is very sus. Like, I thought they're supposed to have a new rematch at least, right?
Yeah. Well, remember we talked about this, even though they had a great match, and like I said, nothing against their in-ring capabilities. We all know these women, most of the card, they have amazing in-ring skills. But as a story, you know, as a narrative, it just doesn't work. The whole Bianca versus Sasha Banks thing, I didn't care also because it didn't work as a narrative. And moving ahead, Bianca versus Bayley, not much of a narrative. Very thin storyline going in. Yeah. Made it very hard for me to care for Bianca Belair. One
thing this match proves, though, is that Bayley should have never been left off the WrestleMania card. I think she has proven that she's actually a better, smoother wrestler.
Yep. Okay, we have a spot of lag right now, so we'll just ride this through. Let me just read what Irvin says. Irvin says, hey, it's like when Mr. Perfect was a face, gimmick fits heel better. Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, that makes sense. He's talking regarding
Bianca, like, she's too good. She's the best, fastest, roughest, toughest. Like, for me to care about a hero, you need to have some sort of a failing, something I can relate to. It's like, why do we care so much about Captain America, Spider-Man, Tony Stark, versus why is it so hard to care about Superman? Superman's perfect. He's literally perfect. His only weakness is a rock you can't even find on Earth.
Yeah, and Louis Lane.
Yeah, that and Louis Lane. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like, yeah, sometimes when someone's too perfect, that doesn't make them relatable. And why should I root for them? You know, why should I root for there's no struggles, there's no failures.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair is in a weird spot though, because I feel like Bianca Belair, even though she is the champion, she's also a rookie. I think she's still a rookie.
Yeah.
And being against Bayley showed me that she's not that ready yet, or not that seasoned yet.
Dude, was it just me, or were there a lot of sloppy moments in this match?
Yeah, and a lot of it was to do with Bianca herself.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I know some people mentioned that they really enjoyed this match. I did not enjoy this match. I found it, like, once again, it was a very vegetarian match. No stakes.
No steak, no sizzle.
No sizzle, no consequence.
My only takeaway from this match is that I think Bailey is really, really good.
Yep.
I would almost want Bailey to win back the title again, you know?
Yes, and here's the thing. That is the major problem. Major problem with the WWE right now. You have heels with so much character, and the baby faces are like, whatever. Like, I have no reason to care.
And where's Sasha Banks? No one has explained to me where the hell is Sasha Banks. Like, is she so sad that she lost that she just disappeared?
Yeah,
that's so weird.
I don't understand what's going on there. They need to explain this.
Address that, right?
And even if she is taking time off for personal reasons, at least in a storyline perspective, say something.
Yeah.
Right? Have her put out a tweet.
Or get, when she wanted to throw a bitch fit and like leave, like, oh, you know what, fuck this shit, I don't want to do have anything to do with SmackDown. Say that, walk away, show a scene of her walking out and like never coming back or something.
You know what she's doing? Irvin says she's selling the whip injury. Oh, she has internal injuries from the hair whip, bro. She's not like Chris Jericho who can recover from falling off a cage within 1 week. No, she got whipped once and she did for about a month.
I wouldn't want to take that whip though.
No. I don't think anybody does. Yeah. So anyway, there's that. I am unfortunately off the Bianca Belair hype train. Just off already.
That was fast.
Yeah. I was on it during her NXT days, but now I'm off.
She don't even go here.
No, I mean, there's no freshness about her anymore. There's no interesting thing about her character. It's just her. Oh, she's athletic. Like, what? There's nothing else to go on. There are a lot of athletic people. That's the problem.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head. Like, I feel like it's the whole Marvel analogy, bro. The whole Marvel-ish analogy. She is just the token athletic woman.
No, like I said, she is exactly like Captain Marvel. They are trying to push her as powerful, empowerment, someone you can look up to. But it's very hard to look up to someone who hasn't gone through struggle. Even Captain Marvel had her whole amnesia phase, so I guess there was a journey there, right? With Bianca, it's like, oh, I'm the best, all the way.
What do you think should happen next for Bianca then? Should she just get beaten down so much, create some sort of conflict within herself?
I've said this before, and this should have been a thing that they did in the lead up to WrestleMania with Sasha Banks, because Sasha Banks is a very good talker. They should have just gotten in her head. You can't beat her. And Bailey, actually, this could work for Bailey because Bailey can't beat her physically, right? Yeah. So have her mind game her, make her doubt herself, put doubt in her head. And so Bianca has to fight the doubt to finally realize, hey, I actually have the power within me to do all these things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And also I feel like Bianca Belair needs more B+ or C+ challenges on top of her A rivalry. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of talent that can be highlighted on SmackDown. Gosh, give me Liv Morgan versus Bianca, or like Ruby Riott versus Bianca. Hey, something lah.
Talking about SmackDown, we have new women's tag team champions, Tamina and Natalya. Yes. First title for Tamina. I know this is a bit of a tangent, but very quickly, what do you think of that?
You know what? If could win the tag team titles for the men, I think it's well deserved for Tamina and Natalya. Tamina has showed a lot of passion in the last couple of weeks. I think she's finally been given the opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy for that.
So when is she joining the Bloodline? That's the question.
Well, as soon as they figure out what to do with Naomi lah.
All right, let's move on then. And we move on to, one of the WWE Championship matches, Braun Strowman versus Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you think of this match?
I gotta be honest, bro. I actually enjoyed this train wreck of a match. I actually really enjoyed this match, and I wanted to be the first to say it on record because this was the match that I thought was gonna suck.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be very bored by this match, but it proved me wrong.
Okay, I feel like this is a case of car crash. Like, a car crash, there's no substance in it. It just looks like you can't take your eyes off it because it's just three horses doing horse things. And Drew McIntyre flipping around, Braun Strowman flipping around. Like, what the fuck? So, in that sense, I agree with you. You know, like there was a bit of a story, like Bobby trying to forge an alliance with Drew to beat up Braun, but they didn't take it, blah, blah, blah. All very normal stuff, lah. But it's a spectacle match. It's like the big fight scene in every Marvel movie. But where do we go from here? Okay, my big issue right now with not Braun Strowman. Well, there is an issue with Braun Strowman, like with Bobby Lashley and what's his face, MVP. It almost feels as if they were told to shrink down the Hurt Business so that there wouldn't be two competing factions. Because you have the Bloodline on SmackDown, and you know what I mean? Because now Bobby still has that whole like he's not a very compelling villain.
You're saying that he's back to a bit of a square one or something? Or what?
Yeah, and you know, like MVP, yes, MVP gives him a bit of color, a bit of like, you know, intrigue, right? He's the brains while Bobby is the brawn. But beyond that, like, I haven't seen much development there. Drew, also the same. Like, his development has halted. He's just this guy who's just trying to chase back to the title. That's it. And Braun, well, he just came off stupid.
I get what you mean. Like instead of 3 fully formed OP characters who is like the peak of their potential, like all of them are like in various stages of where they are right now in terms of their development. This match reminded me of SummerSlam 2017. Remember that Fatal 4-Way match
for
the title? We had Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe.
Yes.
And I forgot who's the last one. I think it's Seth Rollins.
Yeah. It's just an attraction, a spectacle match, and people will always. It's like Godzilla versus Kong. You can have a shit story, but people will still want to watch Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah. But why I took it like in terms of entertainment value, like okay, I really enjoyed myself watching this match was because, Braun, in my opinion, he is a main eventer, but he lost a lot of his steam. But there was a time when I loved him, and I think a lot of the fans and audiences wanted him to beat up Roman Reigns every single week. Love watching his feats of strength. And I think if you know how to position and present Braun, he can actually be taken seriously as a main eventer. And I felt like the way he was presented in this match made him feel a bit of an equal to the two of them, as opposed to he's the odd one out. He almost felt like they had to work very hard to beat up Braun Strowman, get him out of the equation.
It is a story that has been told over and over again. The only issue here is with Braun Strowman, they've been so sort of fickle with who he is. That, he went from being a monster to becoming, they tried to make him a babyface, like, people have been calling me stupid all my life, you know, to now I'm back to being a monster, and none of it has been very consistent. So it's very hard, once again, to form any sort of relatability with him.
The last time he had a very consistent story, in my opinion, was last year, when he was Universal Champion. He had that whole feud with Bray Wyatt, even though yes, the match wasn't that good, but like there was some development because he turned heel because of Alexa Bliss. There was some compelling, and there was some nods to their history. Like, don't treat the audience as dumb idiots who forget everything. We remember everything, and we have the internet for it as well.
Exactly.
So more callbacks. You know, everyone have their own history that they can drive from. And that's why, in my opinion, I want Drew McIntyre to leave the title scene. Go feud with Jinder Mahal for a couple of months.
Bro, you're lagging a little bit. So, okay. I think you're okay now. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. He needs to leave the title scene and be embroiled in a feud that will benefit him as a character. So we care that he finally goes back to the title scene, right? He can go and feud. Like we said, with Sheamus, my God. Even that whole US, even though Sheamus is in the US title scene, right? I would love to see them have that blow off, like bar brawl. They're friends, but, you know, they love a good fight, you know. I feel like that thing wasn't resolved.
Yeah, they never had a chance to show what they could have done. The problem is because they ended the feud right before WrestleMania, so they had to like pivot away. I think they should revisit it. I think they would lah.
Bobby needs a good challenger right now. Like he, as a villain, is like, okay.
I have an idea, but I do not know what's his status right now.
Keith Lee.
They gotta bring back Keith Lee.
Yeah.
I feel like Keith Lee, the NXT Keith Lee, would have been like a straight away a main event challenger for Bobby Lashley. And I hope that Hell in a Cell is coming up. So I have no idea whether they're gonna continue this feud. They can start a whole new feud and then straight away put them in Hell in a Cell. Right?
Yeah. Well, okay, just looking at what happens, I'm pretty sure I know what SmackDown's main event for Hell in a Cell. Well, I don't know if it's main event, but we'll get there in just a bit. But yeah, you're right. Hell in a Cell is back, or is next rather. So okay, Bobby retains. You know, he came in the last moment. Looks like Drew was going to win, right? And then he spears people. It was fine. It was good. It was a good ending. And like we said, it was a fun horse match. Big giant horses flying around. Who doesn't want to see that? Let's move on. Cesaro versus Roman Reigns. And you notice the entire pay-per-view, there were backstage segments with Jay and Jimmy. Like we said, the most fully fledged storyline right now is the whole Reigns empire.
They are the new J&J security, bro.
And like we kind of, predicted last week, somehow Jimmy wouldn't be involved in this match at all, which is good for Roman Reigns, because you want Roman Reigns to come out looking strong as well, right?
Yeah, that's true. And also the thing about Jimmy and Jay is I love the fact that they're trying to differentiate the twins right now. Give them very clear, distinct personalities. I want to get that nobody's bitch shirt. I want to start wearing that around, right? I ain't nobody's bitch.
Yeah, and you'll notice they even changed their hairstyle. Jimmy has the curly hair, Jay has the not so curly hair.
Jay has like almost like a mop hair, like a short mop hair.
Yeah.
And Jimmy has the more of the old school Usos hair. All those things are cool.
Yeah. So okay, the match itself was a strong match. I mean, it's Cesaro lah, but I think what our suspicions, what we had in our minds, it came to fruition. Is that Cesaro was only ever going to be a stepping stone for Roman Reigns. He was never really a legit challenger. He was just there to give Roman Reigns something to do for a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, that's true. But we have to take everything into context, right? We have to be appreciative of the fact that finally Cesaro is actually main eventing a pay-per-view. Who would have thought, amazing. I'm happy that that has been crossed, that line has been crossed.
But the problem is, and we go back to the whole character development thing, his character, he is another case of one of those guys that is defined by his gimmick and not his character.
Yeah. No, we're gonna spend more time with Cesaro. I think yes, it's great that he got this opportunity, but I also think it's a bit too soon. I feel like they're going to stick with this story a bit more though. But given what happened at the end of the match...
He's done. There's going to be a new contender for the Universal title now, obviously, right? Because at the end of the match, Seth freaking Rollins came out. At first, they teased the whole is Seth going to, start something with Roman? But no, he goes and beats down Cesaro, which leads me to think that it's going to be Cesaro versus Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell.
Well, do you like Seth Rollins' new theme song? I actually kind of dig it.
It's the same one. It's Burn It Down and then there's a slight remix.
It's Burn It Down, yes, but then it's like it's a whole new metal, hardcore, like it's an evolution of his Burn It Down. You listen to it fully right on YouTube, it's damn dope. It's really dope.
Right. Hey, Jason, how you doing, by the way? It's good to see you. Thank you so much for dropping by the chat. So yeah, we're talking about Backlash and we are at the main event.
Yes, we are. And we are talking about Seth Rollins' theme song. Obviously, Roman Reigns' theme song is another story. It's amazing. I really feel like you talk about a fully fleshed character. Roman Reigns is the main reason why I'm watching WWE right now. Yeah. Anything he does, he has developed a presence about him.
Hey, Sila, we talk so much about him talking so much during matches. It actually helps his character. So the crazy thing is, right, and follow me on this, it is not his moveset. It is not like anything else. Right now, what is defining him is his character work in the ring. Him talking in the ring sets him apart. Who would have thought?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing about wrestling that I think most people watch wrestling for, honestly, it's not the moves. Like the moves are the sizzle, the cream on top. But I think most people like wrestling because of the characters.
Yeah, the meat. That's the meat.
I think that's why people watch wrestling during Attitude Era because like, oh wow, Stone Cold, badass beer drinking guy.
Yeah,
I wanna do that shit. Or like The Rock, so cool.
Nobody gives a fuck about whether Steve Austin can do a 360 or a shooting star press. Nobody gives a shit. He punch kick, but yet he was the hottest thing going. It's all about the character.
He literally had 4 moves, bro. If you talk about John Cena's 5 moves on Doom, fucking Stone Cold is even less, yeah.
Yeah, and his neck injury probably, like, he said it before, right? Might have been the best thing for his career, his character, because he was limited to just punch, kick.
Yeah, and I think for me, what really made me like somebody like CM Punk, I even until today, right, bro, I will watch YouTube videos, 20-minute YouTube videos of CM Punk negotiating with Vince McMahon.
Ah, yes. See,
just cutting promos.
Yeah, but that's my thing about Cesaro. I don't think he's ever going to be at that level because for whatever reason, he isn't a fully formed character. He's just the Swiss Superman. He can do amazing feats of athleticism. That's it.
So, was Vince McMahon right all along in 2014 when he said that he doesn't have the it factor yet? That's why he hasn't been pushing him.
Yes, I agree. I actually agree. Like, who are you beyond your powers? Going back to the whole, Marvel analogy, who are you beyond your powers? Oh, he's just a guy who's hungry. Everybody's a guy who's hungry. For fuck's sake.
Okay, I can give you another person that I feel like has a bit of character, has developed a bit of character since he became champion. And I think it's Drew McIntyre. Yes, I know Drew McIntyre has a bit halted his character. Yeah. But I kind of know more about Drew McIntyre now ever since he became champion.
During the COVID era, he let bits and pieces of his character come out. It's not like like you said, it's halted ever since, he lost the title and the shine has been off of him. And then he sort of, I wouldn't say flounder lah. He's obviously still at that level, right? But he hasn't had character development since then. Yeah.
But the thing I feel like it will appear in drips and drabs. I think that's like Cesaro, probably that's what's going to happen to him. Like we start to get to know about him a bit more here and there. But his personality, I feel, is not suited to be a larger than life character. He feels like a very down to earth normal guy. Yeah.
Then put your Cesaro freaking 24 out. Put your, that shit makes people like you.
Yeah, that's true. I like him based solely on his interviews that he's been giving. He had an interview with Renee Young. He had some done interviews here and what I really learned about him is he's a very Swiss guy in his austerity. Like I know
what does that even mean?
I know that's a very stereotypical thing to say. Like Swiss people, they're very clean, they're very efficient, they're very
neutral.
But he literally is like, you know what he likes? He likes drinking coffee. And he likes working out. Like, that's basically his life. And he likes to learn new languages.
Okay. Oh. Yeah. Oh.
But that was his gimmick when he first started out. Like, the guy that speaks 5 languages, the one that is a rugby player, whatever it is. It would be really cool if he starts threatening people in different languages. I think that would be quite cool. So he's an interesting fellow, but he's not the kind of guy that when you walk in, his personality straight away shines through. He's the kind of guy that you sit down, you hang out with him, start to learn about him, kind of thing. But how do you translate that to TV? I do not know.
Yeah, it's a tough call. It's a tough call because time is of the essence, right? You're not going to have like 20-minute segments with Cesaro learning about his life and blah 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 on SmackDown every week. So
okay, if you can come out with a Marvel character equivalent, right? Who do you think is very similar to Cesaro's personality? Like this quiet guy, but somehow has the ability to steal the show.
Hawkeye. But what makes Hawkeye interesting is his whole family dynamic, his relationship with somebody. He needs other people to make him interesting. You know what I mean? So maybe that has to happen. He needs to have a relationship with somebody else that makes him like, oh shit, I can relate. Maybe he can be the responsible dad or the responsible husband. I don't know, something like that. That makes him, oh shit, yeah, I respect him more. Other than just Swiss Superman.
He needs to find his kryptonite. Or he needs to fall in love with his Lois Lane. Yeah. Hey, Lana free right now.
Oh no! You keep Lana away from anybody. Okay, no, Lana, please. Thank you very much. So I mean, the match itself is a really good match. It's Cesaro and Roman Reigns showing out. There's nothing I need to say about the match itself because it was a really good match. It's just the whole Cesaro is completely overshadowed by Roman Reigns' storyline.
Yeah. You know what I like about the match? Like,
what?
Character aside, I really like the fact that both of them had submission moves.
And they were working on the arm, right? The whole time he injured his arm.
Yeah, they're working on the arm. And the match ended with a guillotine.
Yeah.
And he passed out, which is similar to the Daniel Bryan situation.
Yeah.
It still kept, in a way, Cesaro strong.
Yeah. Well, the whole point was to make Roman Reigns look good, right? And plus, there was no Uso interference at all, which, I think it was important because there have been a lot of Jimmy Uso interferences in his matches for the past few pay-per-views. And you run the risk of making that dominant champion, Roman Reigns, seem like a bitch champion. Like, he can only win. Yeah. But now you have him win clean in a very competitive match. So it's like, okay, shit, he can win. He can get the job done, even without his henchmen. So shit, who's going to be him? It makes Roman Reigns look good, but also Cesaro look good in this match as well.
Yeah, that's true. I know Seth Rollins came and interfered at the end, but I still want Cesaro to have another rematch with the title, with more stakes, perhaps.
Triple threat
With Seth Rollins.
Yeah, Seth, Roman, and Cesaro. That throws a huge spanner in the works.
I think the addition of Seth Rollins to the not just the Cesaro dynamic with Roman Reigns, but the family drama and everything else, I think that might be pretty cool. I honestly think that will be pretty cool. And I can see a lot of Cesaro, Seth Rollins matches with Jey Uso. Leading up.
Yeah, I mean, you had Jey Uso beating the hell out of Cesaro as well after, so that could be, where it leads. But remember though, we thought that there would be a Jey Uso versus Kevin Owens feud after, but that didn't happen at all. Kevin Owens was like, no, I'm just going to go do my thing with Sami Zayn. Fuck it.
Kevin Owens just literally slid back down the cut and now he's like mid-cut with Sami Zayn.
Speaking of which, where was the IC title? Why was Apollo not defending?
Yeah, I was quite surprised. I thought it was going to be a fatal 4-way match, but you know what? Good lah. Spread it out a bit.
Yeah.
Don't give too much too soon.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So your mid-tier titles were just not on show lah.
Yeah. WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah, I that's why I'm surprised that everybody gave it 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm curious to know. Let's ask the chat. Why do you guys give it 8 out of 10? What do you guys enjoy the matches? Was the quality good?
Because, like I said, it really felt like a pay-per-view that I could have watched tomorrow. I didn't feel any urgency to watch any of it, and when I was watching it, I was like, okay, it's a good match. These are good matches, but none of it screamed, you have to watch this live now. I actually was looking at Instagram, which is a big no-no, right? Because I actually watched it late. I didn't watch it exactly at 7 a.m. I woke up at 8 because I was still tired, right? And then I just started it from the start lah. So I was 1 hour late for the pay-per-view. Okay. So I still went on Instagram and I saw on the WWE account and still for Roman Reigns, and I didn't feel like, oh shit, I fucked up. I was like, oh, okay, I knew this was gonna happen. No surprise. So I didn't feel any of the matches were live worthy.
It's been a while, bro, since I have wanted to watch a pay-per-view without knowing the results.
Yeah.
I have conditioned my mind to not care.
Yeah.
So even if I see news, oh shit, he won. Okay, cool for him. That kind of thing.
I wanted to watch Blood and Guts live, so there was anticipation for that.
Okay.
So there have been moments, and when you talk about WWE, let me think. Who did I want to watch absolutely live? Probably the main event matches at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Unless the matches, okay, for me, Royal Rumble, I need to watch live.
Oh yeah, that one for sure. Yes.
Yeah. So something like that, it's like a happening lah. Everyone is gonna be watching at the same time. That would be great.
But you see, Royal Rumble is a once a year gimmick. You are watching for the gimmick and not for the actual storylines.
I wanted to say Roman Reigns, but then again, we literally just say we don't care when we saw Roman Reigns winning.
Yeah.
But I feel like suddenly, okay, if Brock Lesnar came back, then Brock Lesnar want to challenge Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
I would want to watch and see who wins.
Oh, for sure, 100%. That would be the most compelling shit. So I guess maybe we're gonna have to look ahead. What's the next big one? SummerSlam?
SummerSlam's the next big one. But I'm actually quite surprised on the announcement that Hell in a Cell is going to be the next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So they pushed Hell in a Cell forward and they made like Money in the Bank like sometime in July or something.
Is it? So Money in the Bank is after that?
Money in the Bank is after. But it's so weird, Hell in a Cell being in June. Though there is a precedent for it. Do you guys remember back in early 2000s there was Bad Blood?
Yeah.
Bad Blood is always a June pay-per-view. And it's always Hell in a Cell. So I remember 2003, 2004.
Right. Well, I mean, you guys know what we feel about the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. The gimmick match should be a match and not a... That's my dog, by the way. She's yawning. Hi,
oh, wow. That was a yawn? I thought it was a door opening.
No, it's so cute though, the way she yawned. Like,
oh my
Can
God.
you hear her?
Like got a squeak somehow.
Yeah, it's like, come. Ah!
Is your dog listening to the podcast?
Yes, she's listening to the podcast and she agrees with me. She also didn't feel anything about Backlash. That's why she yawned.
Oh my God. Is that Sophie?
Yes, Sophie.
Yo, what's up, Sophie? Sophie, give us a like and subscribe.
Yes, please hit like on the live video right now. Thank you very much.
You get extremely exclusive content like Mr. Young's dog.
Yeah, that's why. Ayo, she's still whining. Why?
Ayo,
Oh, okay. So, I think it's time for us to wrap things up, and I guess this kind of makes us have to watch Raw in that, to see where they are headed towards. But to be honest, though, as a casual fan, I might not be interested. Okay, I think she wants to go out. Let me let her out.
Okay, let her out. I think she is done with Backlash.
Yeah.
She needs a break from wrestling. So do all of us. Okay, but before we leave, right, I think I should give a shout out to the documentaries that's been happening this past weekend. You guys, if you guys don't want to watch wrestling content, but you want to still enjoy wrestling as it is, please check out Shawn Michaels' A&E biography. Is out right now. I heard it's amazing. Please check out WWE Icons with Rob Van Dam. He openly talks about getting high and weed, which is very rare on WWE Network.
Yes.
So there's that. Dark Side of the Ring was last week. It's about a wrestler that I do not know that well. It's this hardcore guy called Nick Cage.
Oh.
Have you heard of him?
No, I have not.
Well, apparently he is quite well known in the CZW Extreme or Ultra Violence circuit. And they interviewed John Moxley.
Okay, yeah.
So there's John Moxley inside it. So I think that will be quite interesting for those who are extreme hardcore fans, death matches fans.
Yeah.
And also A&E also has their most hidden treasures, most wanted treasures this week. And if I'm not wrong, it is can't be Shawn Michael. I can't remember who are they interviewing this week.
I mean, we can go and check, but yeah, it's all really, really well done wrestling content for the wrestling fans. So even if, like you said, you're not interested in the current product, that stuff will get you hooked. So we'll have to wait and see if WWE is in fact spreading themselves too thin with the amount of content out there. But hey, for us wrestling fans, it's a good time. It's a good time to be a fan, yo.
Yeah, man, it's a good time. Even if you hate the in-ring product or you're not super stoked by it, there's always other wrestling and there's always YouTube and there's always us. So
yes, to hear what we think. And hopefully you enjoyed the podcast today. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you're on the live chat right now, what's up? We appreciate you. As always, drop us a follow on all our social media pages, be it Instagram, Facebook, slide into our DMs anytime you want. Hey, hit subscribe if you haven't already on YouTube. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts or Stitcher, whatever platform you use to listen to podcasts, we say thank you. And we appreciate the time we spend here with you.
Yeah, man. The content might suck with regards to wrestling here and there, but we'll always be here. We can talk shit about it. We can enjoy ourselves and we can laugh about it. I think that's the most important thing, the community, right?
Absolutely, 100%. All right, what are we looking forward to coming up soon? Obviously, there's going to be Double or Nothing, and we'll probably have to do a review, a preview and a review. Well, it's on a Sunday night, right? So it's Monday morning for us as well.
I believe it's Saturday night. 29, right?
I thought it was 30th. Let me ask Uncle Google first. No, 30th of May.
30th of May, but 30th of May US time.
Which is a Sunday. So yeah, it'll be a Monday morning. So we can, right after Double or Nothing, you'll see us. Whether we liked it or not,
Yeah, well, that's 2 weeks away. I think next week we'll do a preview of Double or Nothing. We can do could be a watch along, could be some sort of preview in a way.
The fuck we're gonna watch along leading up to Double or Nothing, the first stadium stampede,
bro. Okay, that was too soon.
Yeah.
How about we watch the first ever Double or Nothing main event and try to remember when Double or Nothing was actually a very highly anticipated event.
What was the very first Double or Nothing main event?
Bro, Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, bro.
Oh, I would rather watch their match in New Japan.
Want to do that?
We'll see. We'll figure it out. But everybody, please stay safe, stay at home. Given the current situation right now, and have a great week ahead, guys. We gonna get the hell out. I'm gonna go grab some lunch right now. I'm freaking hungry.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna enjoy the restrictions and stay at home.
All right. See y'all soon. See y'all next week. As always, it's Mr. Young.
And it's foreign in the building.
Sure. Take care. Wash your hands. Wash your butt. Just do a lot of washing.